Very good morning, my dear aspirants. Welcome to Karthikeya IAS Academy. So today we are going to discuss about our next current affairs, avian influenza. Please observe here. Our article is about status of the avian influenza in the country. So here you can observe some images, right? So what is this influenza? What is the status of avian influenza in the country when it introduced in India, when it came to India? It is a pandemic for birds, animals, as well as in very less cases to human. So let's see what all this is about. What is avian influenza? Please observe here. Here you can observe one chick and another man. So it transmits from bird to human in worst scenario cases. Maximum. This influenza virus, please observe this image. Please clearly observe this image. This is influenza virus with its hemoglobin. Please observe here. These all are called hemoglobin, and whereas this pink color one is neuraminidase, and this one, this combining structure is empty ion channel, and these are ribonucleoprotein. So avian influenza refers to the disease caused by infection with, please observe here, avian. Avian is nothing but bird, influenza nothing but flu. So what is the other name of avian influenza? Bird flu. So please observe here, avian influenza's another name is bird flu. This virus occurs naturally among wild aquatic birds and can infect domestic poultry and other bird and animal species. So as I explained earlier, this avian influenza, the main source is from aquatic birds, from birds to birds, and from there, from birds to other poultry birds and other animal species. So it starts from bird, aquatic birds. From there it enters, it transmits into poultries, and from there it may enter into animals, and in worst scenario it may enter into human being. So this is influenza virus. Avian flu or avian influenza or bird flu viruses do not normally infect humans. However, sporadic human infections with avian flu viruses have occurred. So here you should have a very clear idea about the clinical diagnosis. Please observe the clinical diagnosis, as well as low pathogenic strains, highly pathogenic strains. These clinical signs in affected birds. These clinical signs in these affected birds are often indicators of the disease. And there are low pathogenic strains as well as highly pathogenic strains. So this HPAI virus. So here you should observe what is HPAI means. Please observe very carefully. HPI, you may get this type of abbreviation. Please observe here. This is HPAI. So what is the abbreviation of HPAI? Highly pathogenic, highly pathogenic avian influenza, which affects which affects into the nervous systems in high virulent Newcastle like renegade diseases. This virus needs to be, this virus, please observe here, this HPAI virus, this HPAI virus need to be differentiated from Newcastle virus. In the same way, fowl cholera, which is caused by Pasteurella malariacea. So this HPIA needs to be differentiated from the Newcastle disease, which affects on these hens, on these poultries. In the same way, fowl cholera also affects on these hens. So there will be a diagnosis differently for HPAI, for Newcastle disease, and for fowl cholera. So these poultries may be affected by HPI, or they may get attacked by Newcastle, or they may attacked by fowl cholera. So but treatment should be different from one another. So that the diagnosis process should be different, right? So there are two types of strains: low pathogenic strains as well as highly pathogenic strains. Next, write about avian influenza in birds. Please observe here. Write about avian influenza in birds. So here we should discuss the avian influenza in birds as well as avian influenza in animals. In the same way, avian influenza in humans. So what is the main source for it? Migratory birds. Migratory birds are the carriers of avian influenza. You can observe here this image. From aquatic birds to other animals. So these migratory aquatic birds are carriers of influenza A viruses, and shed it in their droppings, nothing but in salivas. This is how it spreads to other birds and occasionally to mammals such as pigs, horses, cats, and dogs. And from those animals, we will be contacted avian influenza with avian influenza. So since 1997, this bird flu has been detected in 50 countries around the world, and the most affected countries are Bangladesh, China, Egypt, India, Indonesia, and Vietnam. Vietnam. So what is the main source? Migratory birds. Wild water birds, like here you can observe ducks, geese, can be infected with bird flu viruses, but usually do not get sick under low pathogenic strains. When it is in high pathogenic strains, infected birds have viruses in their saliva, mucus, droppings, fecal matters. Bird flu viruses spread easily between the birds. Some of these viruses can cause serious illness and death in domestic poultry like chickens, ducks, and turkeys. And what about in humans? What about avian influenza in humans? There are very sporadic cases, not much more. But we should observe the signs and symptoms, other possible symptoms in the human. So it is a rare for people to get infected, as we discussed. Bird flu virus can infect people when enough virus get into person's eyes, nose, or mouth. You can observe clearly in this image. Please observe here. This is very clear. Clearly, you can observe in the images how infected backyard poultry could spread bird flu to people through direct contact and contaminated surfaces. So please observe very carefully. Please observe very carefully. Avian influenza in humans. Avian influenza in humans. How infected poultry, birds, or animals could spread avian influenza to the humans. The first one will be the direct contact, and second one, contaminated surfaces. So here, what is this direct contact? What is this contaminated surfaces? Here you can observe the direct contact. So this hen is infected with avian influenza, and through direct contact by touching viruses and then touching to eyes, nose, and mouths. So in this way, this is nothing but direct contact of human influenza, direct contact of human of avian influenza to the humans. And the second one is contaminated surfaces. Please observe very carefully how avian influenza can affect in humans through direct contact, through contaminated surfaces. Clear? Next, bird flu viruses in air, in droplets or dust. So it can travel. It can this virus can travel through medium of air also. Please observe here. When the hens are flapping their wings, when hens flapping their wings, or when these poultry hens scratching the floor, the ground, or when they shaking their heads. So this blood flu virus through flapping wings, hands flapping wings, scratching the ground, shaking heads, these may travel through the medium of air, and it may enter through eyes, nose, or mouth, and directly it will affect to our lungs. So this is the main process about avian influenza in humans through contact direct contact, and through contaminated surfaces, and through bird flu viruses through air. So right about influenza in humans, next we will discuss about the signs and symptoms of the bird flu. So what are the signs and symptoms of the bird flu or the avian influenza? So first we will get a fever with a temperature of 100 degrees Fahrenheit. We will get more oftenly cough, sore throat, runny or stuffy noses, pains in muscles, fatigue, mild headaches, and conjunctivitis, nothing but eye rednesses, and in a difficult breathing. In the same with the other possible symptoms in 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 the great extent, diarrhea, nausea, vomiting. So please do remember, very important note human infections with blood flu viruses treated with the same prescription drugs that are used to treat human seasonal flu viruses. So what is the diagnosis process? As as we affected through these viruses, the common viruses, the same diagnosis we should maintain. So what is that name? Flu antiviral drugs. So human infections with bird flu treated with the same prescription drugs that are used to treat human seasonal flu viruses. So please do remember. So how infected by cat body could spread bird flu to people? Direct contact, contaminated surfaces, and bird flu viruses in air in the form of droplets or dust, while hens flapping their wings, scratching the ground, shaking head. Now, the very important point here we should observe what is the status of avian influenza or bird flu in India. So recently, avian influenza has been confirmed in 10 states. And this outbreak was confirmed in 7 states: Kerala, Rajasthan, Madhya Pradesh, Himachal Pradesh, Haryana, Gujarat, and Uttar Pradesh. So this information was given by Ministry of Fisheries and Animal Husbandry. So direction have been given to enforce culking in sick birds as per the very important. What is the plan? What is the government's plan? National Avian Influenza Plan 2015. So according to this government order 2015 National Avian Influenza Plan, we government will take the necessary directions. So it has been reported at 12 epicenters in 4 states earlier, but according to today's report, if you observe, right now report, if you observe, it increased to another 6. So total 10 states are under attack of avian influenza. So please observe here the images of the birds which are affected by the avian influenza. The most affected state is Rajasthan. The crows in Rajasthan, as well as the crows in Madhya Pradesh too. Next, migratory birds in Himachal Pradesh, and poultry and ducks in Kerala. Along with this, Rajasthan, Madhya Pradesh, Himachal Pradesh, Kerala, and the state entered Haryana, Gujarat, Uttar Pradesh. Right? So in these states, cases of bird flu have been confirmed. And please observe here, there are 2 types of viruses: H5N1, which is highly infectious strain that infect humans in rare cases. This has been found in ducks in Kerala and migratory birds in Himachal Pradesh. So the most affected states when compared to human avian influenza attacking human, the main states are Kerala and Himachal Pradesh. And where is the another subtype of virus, H5N8, which is a subtype of the virus that poses a low risk to the people, but it is very fatal for birds. This has been found in crows in Rajasthan and Madhya Pradesh. So please observe, there are 2 strains, high and low. The high one is H5N1 and the low one is H5N8. So H5N8 cannot trouble the humans, but whereas H5N1 can infect humans. And coming to the other highlights, if you observe, India notified the first outbreak of avian influenza in which year? 2006. And whereas coming to the 20th century, you're already well aware of H1N1, H1N1, nothing but Spanish flu. In the same way, H2N2, Asian flu, H3N2, Hong Kong flu. So these are the pandemic influenzas in 20th century. So in 2005, the Department of Animal Husbandry and Drying had prepared an action plan which was revised in 2006, 2012, 2015, and now for the fourth time 2021. So in exam, they may ask you in which year the Department of Animal Husbandry and Dairying had prepared the action plan in 2005. And it was revised how many times? 2006, 2012, 2015, 2021. And for the first time, avian influenza broke in India in 2006. Right? So this is a very, very important topic. Please do remember. H5N1 is dangerous to the humans. H5N8 is dangerous to the birds. In the same way, please observe who is the president director of NIHASD, which is a National Institute of High Security Animal Diseases. So which is the governing body of this, and who is the head of NIHSAD, which is an internal part of ICAR? Dr. V.P. Singh is the director of NIHSAD, National Institute of High Security Animal Diseases. So what is the role? What is the role of this NIHSAD, National Institute of High Security Animal Diseases? It is an institute of ICAR, Indian Council of Agriculture Research. And this NIHSAD, National Institute of High Security Animal Diseases, please do remember. NIHSAD is the premier institute of ICAR. Please do remember. So what is the abbreviation of NIHSAD? It is a National Institute of High Security Animal Diseases of Indian Council of Agriculture Research, which is a premier institute of India. And this NIHSAD founded on 8th August in 2014. So what is the main aim of it? What is the main aim of NIHSAD, which came into existence on 8th August 2014? So the main aim of this NIHSAD is detecting animal diseases of exotic origin and preventing them from entering our country. The main role of NIHSAD is detecting animal diseases of exotic origin. It means like H1N1, right? H2N2, H3N3, H5N1. So these all are exotic origin viruses, and this NIHSAD will protect our country from by detecting the viruses. Right. So it is a part of ICAR introduced in 8th August 2014, and this will take care of this NHAI. So please do remember what is the abbreviation of HPAI, highly pathogenic, highly pathogenic, highly pathogenic avian influenza. And please do remember, it should be diagnosed differently from Newcastle disease as well as fold cholera disease. So this is very, very important topic. So please go through this topic once again. Please observe what are the main key points in it. So what is avian influenza? What is HPAI? Write about avian influenza in birds. Migratory birds are the carriers of avian influenza. And write about avian influenza in humans. What are the signs? What are the other possible symptoms in HPAI, highly pathogenic strains? What are the symptoms? What are the other possible symptoms? And please do remember, treatment is same as how we treat seasonal flu viruses. In the same way, we should treat this virus too. So how it will be contacted to the humans? Through direct contact, through contaminated surfaces, and through air droplets or dust, by flapping wings, scratching ground, shaking head. What is the status of avian influenza in India? So please do remember, now how many states are affected? 10 states. So under which plan? 2015 National Avian Influenza Plan, the Ministry of Fisheries and Animal Husbandry will take care of this avian influenza with the help of ICAR, NIHSAD. So what is the main virus? H5N1. It can be infected. It will be dangerous for the humans. Whereas H5N8 will be fatal for birds. Other highlights originated in outbreak in India in which year? 2006. And pandemic situation in 20th century, H1N1, H2N2, H3N2. So which department? Department of Animal Husbandry and Dairying. In which year? 2005. How many times it revised? 4 times. 2006, 12, 15, 21. So what is this ICAR? What is this NIHSAD? What is the aim of NIHSAD? It was introduced on which year? What is the main aim? What is the main aim of NHSAD? So please go and watch once again this video completely. This is a very, very important topic. We may get more number of questions in science and technology paper. So please go through once go through this each and every point. It's very, very important. And our Karthikeya IAS Academy providing online classes along with daily current affairs, with online test series, individually in for group 1, for group 2, for civil services. Individually they are providing each and every topic. So once again, go through this avian influenza. Thank you.